Hello and welcome to today, which is Wednesday, the 10th of May 2023, and this is my first vlog of the month. It also marks the 41st anniversary of when I passed my driving test. It was a Monday. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to my vlogs, and if you enjoy them, please encourage others to subscribe and share. Well, there's really only one topic this time round, which I'm sure you would expect with us having had the coronation of Charles III a few days ago. And I've had many questions and many comments, really, with various views on the monarchy and the ceremony and the cost of it. And so I've chosen Kirsty from Hull in the UK, whose question covers most of the points. Do you think the cost of Charles III's coronation was appropriate in these times of poverty? Do you agree that the money could have been spent on more worthy causes? Isn't it time we got rid of the monarchy? Well, I should say, it must be noted, that if there were a referendum tomorrow to say yes to monarchy or no to monarchy, my answer would be yes. But before you switch off, please hear me out. The monarchy of today is nothing like the monarchy of 300 or 400 years ago. And it's simply a head of state with ceremonial duties. There's no one there who will rule over us or oppress the people. Since around, I think it's 1760, the monarchies or the finances have been really controlled by the government of the day, and they are called the Crown Estates, and these are managed by a minister in the government, and the minister is referred to as the Duchy of Lancaster. And the monarch and his close family, but not the Prince of Wales, because the Prince of Wales is also the Duke of Cornwall, and he has monies that come from the Duchy of Cornwall. But the rest have money that comes from the Crown Estates. And the number of the royal family who get money is much less than it was even in Queen Elizabeth II's time. But what do they get? It used to be called the Civil List. The government have changed the name, I don't know why. But it's a small percentage of the profits from the Crown Estate. So there's no actual taxpayers' money as such. But it was mentioned, I think it was sometime last year, that there was a calculation that the cost of the royal family works out at about 86 pence per head per British population per year. So that's less than £1, £1. So I'd be more than happy to donate £20, and that would cover the monarchy for at least the next 15 or 20 years. The royal family, despite what accusers say, do work extremely hard, and they support various organisations and millions of people as well, and they see themselves as servants. Queen Elizabeth II often signed off things, "Your humble servant, Elizabeth." And Charles is exactly the same. He founded the Prince's Trust when he was Prince of Wales many years ago, and he has supported millions of people and organisations by offering them various grants. And I personally have benefited from these grants because in the past I've worked for, and I'm currently working for, organisations and companies that have had start-up grants from the Prince's Trust. Prince Philip, bless him, he created the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme, which has helped young people from all walks of life sort of have opportunities to expand their horizons. As for the cost of the coronation, I have to say that some of the quotes I've heard are very exaggerated, but it must also be noted that in January this year, that's January 2023, Charles III donated £1 billion from the Crown Estates to the Treasury. And at the time, he said the money should be used to help out impoverished people. And so it could be argued, and I think it's fair to say that you can see that £1 billion far outweighs the cost of any coronation. And where did this £1 billion come from? I can hear you say, well, there are offshore wind farms, I should say, that they belong to the Crown Estates, but some of them were actually initiated by Charles himself, because he was a forward thinker at the time, many years ago. And there have been several new energy lease agreements which have unexpectedly produced a windfall of profits of £1 billion, and that's where it's come from. And that's why King Charles said, send it straight to the Treasury. As for the coronation itself, I absolutely adored the pomp and ceremony of all. The choreography of it was brilliant, and as a former event organizer, I'm absolutely amazed and appreciate and admire the achievement of it. And as for the crowning ceremony itself, I learned a lot, because it was a much more solemn affair than I expected, and the derobing of the king before anointing him king proper was very good to see, and it was the symbol that the monarch of today is a humble servant of the people. I understand the anti-monarchy viewpoint, and I absolutely respect the right for them to say what they want to say. But their arguments appear to be based on history of what the monarchy was like in the past, totally ignoring what the monarchy is today. And what of the cost of a republic? Well, I understand from my friends across the water that Joe Biden's inaugural ceremony cost nearly $200 million. And you have that ceremony every 4 years, whereas we just have a coronation as and when. And of course, the previous one was 70 years ago, and hopefully we got a good 20 more years with Charles III. So that's $200 million. Add to that the cost of presidential elections. It far exceeds any coronation cost. And what of the chosen presidents? Well, see, when I look at China and North Korea, Russia and Brazil and America itself, I think it's fair to say I feel safer with Charles III. Well, thank you again for listening. Until the next time, toodle pip.